Hello friends! You've heard or seen fairy tales. Is it weird like this? A king whose peculiar hobby is to raise fleas. He used his own blood to feed it. The fleas are getting bigger and bigger. Before that he hid under the king's bed. But now it's as big as an elephant. Fleas do not have a long life. He quickly reached the end of his life. The king is very upset about this. Let him skin it and hang it in front of the castle hall. If the AI can guess what that skin is, you will marry Princess Chu. What will happen to the princess? Are there any more bizarre fairy tales? The first story begins in a kingdom. King Shou invited a circus. Go back to show your wife. But throughout the show, she didn't even smile. Near the end of the show, a woman in the circus takes off her shirt. The gourd belly is out. The queen saw that. Don't say no, go straight to your room. Angry grandmother smashed furniture screaming. She had always wanted to have a child, but always. No, this makes you very sad. The king was a very loving wife. He comforted her and took her to a witch. He told the queen to find the heart of the sea monster. That heart must be cooked by a virgin. After eating it, you will get pregnant. But with that comes a curse. You will pay for what you do. The desire to have children is too great. She said that just having a child. Even if you have to die, she agreed. The king wanted to fulfill his wife's wish. Go directly to find the monster. To take the heart back to my wife. He put on a scuba suit and dived deep into the sea. There's actually a sleeping sea monster in this place. He stabbed the monster with a sword. He wakes up and gets angry. After fighting hard, the king finally caught the monster and bring it ashore. But he was also badly injured and had a bit of breathing. Finally, the queen came. But I didn't see him take one. I'm just looking for the monster heart. You carefully wrap the heart and embrace it. Sight, a white servant, cooks him. According to the witch. 2 days later, she gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. The servant who cooked the Tim that day was also affected. That gave birth to a boy the same day as the queen. 2 boys are the same as casting. It's been 16 years and 2 boys have grown up. They're the same from the outside to the white hair. They became as close as brothers. It's just different identities. One is a prince and one is a servant. The queen loves her son very much. But her grip made Elliot. Your son is also tired. You used to hide out with Yona. Annoyed at being ignored by her son, the queen called Yona's mother in to vent her anger. Elliot and Yona played a game together that night. They exchanged clothes and tried on the queen. Do you recognize them? Yona with Prince Elliot's clothes walked in. The queen thought it was Elliot. I asked him to wear an earring. Yellow Yona carefully entered wearing earrings for grandma. Then he excitedly returned to Elliot's room. Tell you everything. Elliot was also glad that the 2 of them were the same. They can often swap identities for each other. When Elliot became king, you 2 will change. Take turns running this kingdom. Yona can make your own mother a noble, so that you don't have to be warm anymore. All this was heard by the queen. She loved her son so much. I want to see the boy every day. So she did a secret 7 behind Elliot's room. She was very angry when she heard the conversation. Elliot and Yona. Yona left the castle. The queen wants to kill you. So that in this world there is no visible AI, just like your son. But Yona, thanks to her quick response, was lucky to escape. Yona knows she can't stay here anymore. The next day he said goodbye to his mother and left. Elliot saw it and chased after it. Yona takes Elliot to an old tree. There's a small stream under the tree. I can tell you about Yona's situation. If the spring is clear, it means that Yona is safe. The stream turned red. That means Yona's in danger. And if one day the stream runs out, that means Yona's dead. Elias heard that. I went to the tree every day to find out. Yona's only when she saw that the spring water was still fresh. Then you can rest assured. But a few days later the stream started to turn red. Elliot hurried his horse to find Yona. Soon the queen knew that Elliot had escaped. She brought soldiers. Go deep into the forest to find you. But I can't find my son forever. She was so excited that she went to the witch again. The witch told her, there are things that are destined to be unbreakable. If you want to find your son, you'll have to pay for it. The queen did not think much, but agreed immediately. The witch took her away. Yona in the forest, due to carelessness, fell into a hole and fainted. Until you wake up, you don't know how to get up. Elliot and Yona seemed to have telepathy. So Elliot quickly went to Yona's place. Now there's a giant spider. From where to rush towards Yona? You have to hide in a rock hole to avoid the spider. Fortunately, Elliot arrived in time. He used his sword to end it. Giant spider and save Yona leaving. After you to left. The spider gradually turned into a queen. She tried to kill Yona, but she was killed. His own son killed. The second story begins in the neighboring kingdom. The king, just because this place is a pleasure. He's had a lot of women. I always want more, not less. One evening while having fun, he went for a walk and was suddenly attracted to a wonderful voice. He followed the song and saw, in the distance there is the shadow of a woman. I saw the king's voice coming. The woman immediately fled into the house. The king thought, who has such a wonderful voice? She must be a beauty. But she's actually an ugly old woman, smelly and poor, named Dora. She lives with her sister. She's also an ugly old woman named Emma. The next morning, King Sai brought the gift to the old woman to speak. First time she was given a valuable gift like this. She doesn't want to give it back. That night the king came. He wanted to take her to see the moon and go on a date. Emma was afraid to tell the truth, but Dora kept her mouth shut. She impersonated a girl's voice to talk to the king. She's thinking about how to extend the time. She's going to see the king a week later come back. At that point, she revealed, it's a beautiful part of you, let him see it. The king was so used to women's bodies. It made him feel different and more interested, should have agreed. Old lady Dora tried greasing PIG on fingers and tightly again wrapped with aesthetic desire. Give it a week to go by. When removing the cloth, Dora's finger become more wrinkled and ugly. The king came and waited at the door. Dora looked everywhere. Emma has a habit of sucking her fingers every day. Emma's fingers are as white as a girl. Take it and show it to the king. The king saw the finger and felt very excited. He wants to enjoy her. Dora said she was embarrassed. So if you want to sleep with her, turn off the lights. The king was too quick to agree. Next day, Dora Siamer used glue to cover up her wrinkled skin. That night, Dora was taken to the king. All sex happens in the dark like that. Near the morning, the king lit candles to look at the girl's face out of curiosity. When I look at you, I burn. Turns out I slept with a wrinkled old lady last night. Ugly, he shouted the wrong soldiers through Dora. Get out of the castle, thanks to the blanket wrapped on him. Into the branches of the tree that kept her alive. An old witch went too far to see Dora. Poor girl, I picked her up and feed her from her own breast. The miracle is that after being fed the witch's milk, Dora became a beautiful woman who loved thousands of people. Fair skin, gawk ivory, long red hair dotted with heels. The king was passing by and saw Dora. He immediately fell in love with this beauty. Go back to the palace and be queen. A few days later, Emma receives a wedding invitation from the king and queen. She was given a noble dress to wear to the wedding. When she arrived at the castle, she did not recognize her sister ugly Dora. Old man. You can only sit quietly in one corner. Dora, after the ceremony, I went to Emma and told her to be quiet. She'd give you money to live happily. But Emma wouldn't. She just wants to be with her sister. Emma asked what she had done to be so beautiful. The king came to find his queen, Dora. I want to get rid of this ugly girl that was looking haphazardly. She said she'd shed her skin to be so beautiful and pushed Emma behind the curtain. Emma watched Dora and the king make love. She came out and scared the king. Call someone to kick her out. To be despised and hated, it makes you want to be beautiful. She brought the jewels that the king had given her to an animal skin specialist. She hired him to skin her. Butcher name, surprised, but with money, everything is done. He pushed for his sister to skin her. But after the peeling is done, she looks even more disgusting than before. The second story is over. The third story is also the last. It happened in another kingdom. The king. There's only one girl here. Her name is Violet and she's getting married. I was watching my daughter perform one day. He had a flea crawling on his hands. This made him suddenly interested in it. He took it to his room and used his blood to feed it. You see it as your pet. He only cares for his pet fleas. Every day he would play and talk to her. He didn't care about water or girls. The flea was raised by the king. It's getting bigger and bigger, until one day he died of a short lifespan. The king was deeply saddened by this. He had the workmen strip it off in remembrance. The daughter has now reached the age of her husband. He decided to hold an exam. Groom for your daughter. He didn't even ask Violet's opinion. Leave her to fate. The king transmitted only, just be a man of the right age, and no wife came to apply. Everything will be welcomed. The exam is brought up. As long as the AI guesses the skin hanging in the lobby. What is your skin? She will marry Princess Cho. A lot of people came. They're guessing all kinds of animals. Goat, cows, chickens, puppies, everything. But it's all wrong. Until a big ugly cow comes along. The princess was afraid to remind her father, but he didn't care about the princess for fun. He sniffed at the skin and said the right thing. This is the skin of a flea, the stunned king. I can't believe a barbarian like him was right. The terrified princess cried loudly and ran away. When the king chasing to the top of the castle, the princess is standing there with the intention of threatening his father to revoke his order. But the king refused to withdraw his will. He changed fate and asked his daughter to obey. The princess is desperate. To this extent you are. Surrender yourself to this thing called destiny. The barbarian was waiting for the princess at the castle gate. He's clearly dragging you away. They go out of the kingdom. Go deep into the forest, Leo, through some mountains, to a cave on a high and remote mountain. This is his lair. Violet has only one way to go. In a cave full of animal bones. It scares Violet. She just crouched in a shaky corner 7. Violet is hungry. The barbarian threw her a piece of raw meat to eat. Violet became the wife of this monster. The time has passed. Every day the monster would hunt her and lock her up. In the evening he will come back to sleep with you. You want to hide, but you can't hide. It's just cliffs around Leo. One day, Violet heard a noise from the other side of the cliff. A woman digging for drugs. Violet ran out and begged her to help her. But the two cliffs are too far. She couldn't help but leave. Violet once again fell into despair. The next morning, the woman asked her son to help her. Violet escaped. The son is an artist who walks on strings. He carried the princess walking through the rope that was being stretched, ready to head over there. Halfway through, the monster found out. He clings to the rope that swings to the other side of the mountain. Fortunately, the boy and Violet made it to the other shore. They quickly cut the rope. The monster fell to the ground. Violet follows the family back to her kingdom. Everyone laughed and celebrated the victory. The monster came again. He's not dead yet. He killed his father and third brother. 3 people escaped behind the rock. The monster clings behind the button. He was bribed. The second son sprayed flames that burned his face. But he still has nothing to do with him. Kill the other 2 in the family and chase them. Violet, you keep running until you can't run anymore. This time she knew that no one could save her. You just rely on yourself. You go to the monster. She realized that he still seemed to love her, and it won't hurt you. She hugged him to show her respect. The monster is going to carry you home. Cool lead pepper. He used a sharp knife to cut the monster's neck. He cut off his head and brought it back to the castle in front of his father. King, since her daughter was taken away for missing her and getting sick, he was so glad and sorry to see you back. Not long after, the king gave the throne to his daughter. The day of the enthronement, the kings of 2 neighboring countries were also present. One was King Elliot, but who knows if it's Elliot or Yona. Another is the king and his queen. In the Queen Dora's ceremony, feeling that my skin is becoming wrinkled and rough. To repair the witch's old copper. Maybe it didn't work. Dora returned to her old form. She put on her coat and ran away from the castle in tears. This movie is the end. All three stories bring their own lessons that we have to ponder to find the answer. Give me. See you in the next movies.